All right, here's where I forgot to turn on the mic to the camera. But if you can read lips, I'm saying it's Christmas time, suckers. Here is your holiday gift guide for your favorite Pitmaster. All right, first on the list is the instant read thermometer. Every Pitmaster should have one of these. Here I've got a thermal one by ThermoWorks. It's called the thermal one because it's a temp within 1 second. Here's another thermal one, green color. You got multiple colors, backlit display. Doesn't matter which way you rotate it, the display is right side up. Here's a Thermo Pro, a little bit cheaper than the ThermoPen. This has got a red display. This one does not shift though in the direction you go. It stays the same direction every time. The one nice feature about this is it does have a lock button. So let's say you're reaching in the back of the pit, and by the time you pull it out, the temperature reading went away, you can hit the lock button and it should stay on there. Now this one is a little bit cheaper. This is going to be in the $30 range, so if you don't want to spend the money on a ThermoPen, which is probably going to be closer to $50, that's your pick. But this one is without a doubt the standard and the best one on the market. And the reason why I have two, and they're both brand new, is because of how great their warranty program is. I had both of these. These are not the originals. My kids broke both of these, and all I had to do was call them up, and within 3 weeks I had two brand new ThermoPens. All right, next on our list is a good set of knives. The two standards that you're going to be using in barbecue is going to be your 6-inch curved boning knife and this serrated bread knife. I don't know that I've ever seen somebody use this for bread, but this is what we use to slice the large cuts of meat, brisket. If you're doing a prime rib, this is what you would use. Now with that, you can start getting into some other knives. This is a pretty cool, fun knife. I also use this for large cuts of meat. Here's my newest one. This is a scimitar by Victorinox. This is a 10-inch breaking knife basically. Again, this is for large cuts of meat, breaking down a whole rib roast. I've even seen some people starting to use these to trim briskets just because it's got such a long blade that it just slices right through when you're taking off some fat. Here's another 6-inch curved boning knife. This is a Victorinox as well. You're pretty much going to see these two in most barbecue restaurants or most pitmasters using these. Probably going to be more on the Dexter side because they're a little bit cheaper, and for how much you use them and they wear down after sharpening, money-wise, smart to go with these because if you just toss it out and get another one for 10 bucks, it's not a big deal. This one's going to cost a little bit more, probably going to be in the $30 range. But I do think the Victorinox holds a much better edge and stays sharper a lot longer than the Dexters. But you can't go wrong with any of these. Also another thing, as you're expanding your knife roll and getting more knives, you're going to want to get a honing rod or honing steel just to keep your edge in line. Keep a good sharp knife for a long time. All right, next up, let's talk beef tallow. Made popular by Mad Scientist Barbecue. This is South Chicago Wagyu beef tallow. Everybody's using this stuff now. You're putting it in your briskets. See people making tortillas with it, cooking steaks in it. Stuff's amazing. And now have a spray bottle. So replace your Pam spray now with this. Much better. Doesn't have that oily taste. Adds a great flavor. I even use this to season some of my cast iron. Family that owns this is just an incredible bunch of people. We've hung out with them a bunch in Chicago over the past couple years at Windy City Smokeout. They take care of us every year. Throwing us really nice parties and just giving us all the items to use. So make sure to pick up some Wagyu beef tallow. All right, let's talk pans. Lodge, cast iron, Dutch oven. If you saw my recent video, Smoked Queso, that's what I made this in. This is a 10-quart. Great to make your chili in. I see a lot of people making desserts in them. One you want sitting on your shelf. All right, over here we have another Lodge. This is just I believe it's a 12-inch cast iron skillet. It's a little rusty. It's outside and it snowed, so I'll have to fix that, which I also have a video on how to fix cast iron. Check that out. Right here in the middle is a Matfer carbon steel pan. This has been the one that I've been using the most. Also used in my smoked queso. This is what I brown the sausage and ground beef in. All three of these, if you get a good seasoning on them, they will be non-stick, as long as you keep up on it. Again, in my cast iron video where I fixed it, you could see I took this down to the bare metal, re-seasoned it, and had an egg just sliding all over the place in it. But these are my three go-to pans right here. Pretty much use all three of these all the time, and it's pretty much the only three I use. All right, let's talk the grill gun or sous vide gun. This is the best way to start your fire, in my opinion. So it just takes one of these propane bottles, and you got yourself a little torch. This is what I use to start pretty much all my fires. If I'm loading up the firebox with just a bunch of coal, instead of using the chimney, load it up and just hit it with this for 30-40 seconds and you got yourself a fire. So pick one of these up, the sous vide gun. It does come in 2 lengths. This is the shorter one. I believe the other one's a little bit longer. This, I've been using this for like 2 years now. Hasn't failed me yet. All you gotta do is just stay up on these bottles, which are I think only like $6 a piece. So you can get them at your local hardware store. So check that out. Get you one of those. All right, next up on the list is the Made by Meat Grinder. This is the half horsepower model, single grind. This is for people that really tried hard to make the good list this year, the nice list. So obviously a little bit bigger than a stocking stuffer, but anybody taking barbecue serious needs a good meat grinder. Whether you're doing burgers or sausage or just grinding up your own ground meat, this is a must-have. I believe this model is somewhere in the $300 to $400 range. I'll post it below. But now they have come out with the dual grind, which would be nice to have if you're doing sausage or you're just doing your own ground meat, ground beef or whatever. But this, like I said, this is the half horsepower, and they go all the way up to, I believe, a 1.5 horse, I believe. But this is the number 8. Go ahead, check this out. Gotta have a meat grinder. Bradley Robinson has come out with several items for the Backyard Pitmaster, starting with the knife roll. I picked this up when I was actually down at the Chud Shop. They only had 2 or 3 left on the shelf, so I got one, but I love this thing. Made of nice brown leather. It's got the flap right here, so nothing's gonna slide out or poke you if you're, grabbing from the top. I like it because of the size. You can toss this right in a backpack, and you can wrap it up and strap it up. When I was looking for a knife roll, pretty much everything I was looking at was pretty big and bulky, and I wanted something simple that not only looks nice, but film YouTube videos, I have understood the need for a trivet. I, like Brad, I have a burner right here off to my side here, and it's really a pain to move this camera around to get the right angles over here at the burner, then bring it back over here to film, putting everything together. That's why I picked up the trivet. Take the pan right off the burner, right here in front of you on the trivet, so I don't burn up my butcher block. I can brown the meat or do whatever I'm doing in a pan. So if I just gave away the magical secret, I'm sorry, Brad, but pick you up one of these trivets. Pretty heavy duty. You could probably smack someone with this and knock them out. Now let's go to the rubs. Starting right here with the original Chud rub. I've used this on a lot of stuff. It's got a nice peppery kick, gives everything a good color. Cook steaks with this. I've done pork chops, chicken. I've used it on just about everything, but this is a good all-purpose rub if you like that peppery kick. Next up, SPG. You know exactly what that is, salt, pepper, garlic. You can make your own, obviously, but if you want the ease of not having to make your own and it being right in a bottle, here you go. 2 parts 16 mesh black pepper, 1 part diamond crystal kosher salt, and a 1/2 part granulated garlic. Pretty simple. I'll probably be using this on briskets, steaks, pretty much anything beef I'll probably use this on. A sweet rub, Sweet Cheeks, just came out with this one recently. I have not used it on anything yet. I've just tasted it, putting my finger in the bottle and giving it a taste, but it's got a nice, I don't know if it's honey or maple or what it is, but it gives a real nice sweet flavor. And snake bite. I think you can figure out what that is. It's got the little boot snake there, but this is the spicy rub. I also have not tried this one yet. I literally just got these a few days ago, but I've been using Chud rub for a while, so I anticipate these are going to be just as good. Here we have the sausage mix, the nice and plump sausage starter mix. So this is going to be a great gift for anybody getting into sausage making. I think one of the more intimidating parts about getting into sausage making is using grams and ratios and trying to figure all that out. This makes it simple. 5 pounds of meat, dump this in. If you're curing it, do a little pink salt #1, but then you're good to go. That's literally all you need. And if you've seen the recent videos where he made this for Jeremy Yoder, Joe Yim, I do recall Jeremy Yoder making a comment that it was better than some of the sausage that they had just gotten at a barbecue restaurant. So I'm eager to give this a try soon. Stay tuned for a video on that. And here we have the Chud's snake nest. So it's basically just tumbleweeds. Put this under your Chud chimney to get your charcoal going. But these, this is the second time I've had these. I had a bag a few weeks ago and ran out fairly quickly. But these are nice. Just hit it with a lighter and they go right up. I usually use 1 or 2 underneath the chimney. and you're good to go. And speaking of the chimney, here's the Chud chimney. I think this was the first item that maybe they ever put out, or maybe it was the tortilla press, I'm not sure. But we've all had the cheap flimsy charcoal chimneys that fall apart. I've had chimneys last me less than 6 months. I've had some that have fallen apart within 3 weeks. This thing is heavy duty. Heavy duty. This is not going to fall apart. It's not going to rust out. And well, it may, but it'll take a very long time. But this is a heavy duty charcoal chimney. All right, the next item on this list for the person that was really good this year and you just don't have a budget, you don't care, is the pit behind me. This is a workhorse 1975. Within its class, you know, it's in that 94 gallon, 98 gallon range. Comparing it to the mill scale, to the goalie's pit, and whoever else has this backyard style pit, this one is coming in way cheaper than the other ones. And I just don't know what makes the other ones $2,000 better than this one, or whatever it is. This has no additional features, but there are cowboy fireboxes. You can get the top shelf. It does have the collapsible smokestack. It's a really good pit. You've seen Mad Scientist BBQ talk about it and also say the same thing, that it's right in the class with all the other ones, if not better than all those. I've had no issues cooking on this thing. It's turned out amazing food. This is going to run you about $27.50, I believe, somewhere in that ballpark, not including shipping, which obviously depends on where in the country you're at. But this thing has been solid. Can't recommend it enough. Primitive Pits has expanded their, calling it their campus, where Primitive and Workhorse and all their stuff is built. They've expanded that, so from what I have heard, the wait times are going to get even better. Mine took about 8 months to get. I think they want to cut that down to under 6 months, but check these out. You can't go wrong with one of these. All right, and that was my Christmas list for your favorite Pitmaster this year. Let me know down in the comments what you plan to buy for your favorite Pitmaster or yourself. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. Please subscribe. Stay tuned for more barbecue videos in the future. We'll see you in the next one.